Hello and welcome to another daily recap. Today is April 17, 2024, Wednesday, April 17. It's about 5 minutes before 9 a.m. There are 8 levels that we have identified to trade against in the E-mini futures. In the pre-market, the spiders were mostly flat. From where they closed, they shimmied a little bit at 8 o'clock like they usually do, and they're currently at 505.45. And after the market closes, like usual, we will come back to this chart, take a look at all the trades taken in the E-minis based off the levels here in the spiders. See you then. Well, it's been a pretty busy day for me. It's already after 9 p.m., but we had some good trades today. One was recorded. I want to talk through a few things first, so we'll just kind of expand this chart to get a better view. Didn't hit this top level here at 506.38. This level at 504.92 was not triggered. It was a near miss. So the call is once they essentially gave the trade after a few pennies pulled up. If they come back into it quickly enough, you don't want to take the trade. So unless enough time has elapsed, there's a certain threshold here, and I'm not going to explain it now. That is in the course that I teach. But so good call to make to not enter this again on the second time around. Although it's good for a recycle if they ever come up into it on the underside of it, which we can talk about when we look at the recording. This next trade, well, they did come up within pennies, like literally 2 pennies. The operating level was 502.17. The low of this was 502.19, but I did happen to take a market order. I just bought at the market when they got down to here, and I realized I wasn't triggered with the order in the system. This was another long trade, pulled up for enough for a base hit, and I bought one contract to each of these. Just still playing a little bit conservatively because I'm not sure what's happening. I don't want the trap door to open, and I'm in a long position, and they fall down. And 499.22 or 499.27 with a 5-cent buffer was a really good trade, but I only got 4 points on each of these. And we'll take a look at the recording, so hopefully some of this makes more sense. Start rolling this. The time at this point in the day was right before 9:45, thinking they're going to come up into 506.33, and I was going to go short there, put my reference lines, levels on the chart, but they never got there. So there was nothing with that level, no harm, no foul. They came down into 504.97. All right, so let's let this go so you can see what happens. They come up pretty close within, I've got a number I look at here and pull up enough to satisfy a base hit, and then they come down again and hit the level. It's not good I'm not going to trigger at that point. I'm going to call that a near miss. And pay attention here because this is one scenario, and there's a very similar scenario on the next level down, actually at 502.17, where essentially they gave the trade, but it was 2 pennies. I'll just tell you right now, it was, because we looked at that, it was 502.19 is how low they got, and 502.17 was the operating level. You see it sitting here. And when they're that close and they pull away, then consider that the trade, it's satisfied, and the question is, do you want to take it again on the second time around? I don't. So they're good for a recycle on the other side of it. If it's a fumble, I guess I'm giving a lot of information, which may be somewhat confusing because this is the terminology that I just use for my own strategy, which is all spelled out in the course that I'm developing, which I want to give an update on that later, but perhaps just make an announcement video on what's going on with that. So anyway, back to this. So at this point, they're falling down. Let me scrub ahead here because they come back up into it at some point. I think I even put here we go. Some lines on the chart. Okay, I'm willing to take it for another trade on the short side if they come up into it. And that's why these reference lines are drawn back on the chart all the other way around, but they never got out there. But when they fell down into this next level, it was just in time for me because I had to head out around 11. So they just handed me a nice little base hit pretty quickly. And I didn't take more than 4 points, just one contract, just playing kind of conservatively here. So here they came into it pretty fast. We already talked about this before. It was really close, but if you look at the E-mini chart on the right-hand side, you'll see an order right there, just go long 1, and very quickly, this handed over 4 points in the E-minis. So that was it. I just stopped recording this like a couple minutes after 11, so there's nothing more to see here. Let's just jump over back to the full day one more time. And this is what the chart looked like at that point in time. This was ready to be considered for a recycle on the other side of it if that happened, but it did not happen. This had been satisfied, not taken again the second time around. This was satisfied after this little bounce here, and the big trade, if it had been more than a couple one contract and trailed it more, but I didn't. I'm just treating these very conservatively, was down here because that level was perfect. But anyway, those are my trades. 2 if you're playing by the rules, 3 in my case. So just for record on the tracking log, the 2 levels that didn't get triggered because of the near miss, and you would not have wanted to take the other one on the second time around because it just happened. You just would have missed it by 2 pennies. Unfortunately, let's just say hypothetically you had it triggered to go long at precisely the right number. Like when the spider has hit this level, then execute a market order in the E-minis. Anyway, wouldn't have happened, so you would have missed that one. And you would have got the other 2 base hits, so you would have had 8 points with those trades. I just jumped in with a market order, so a little bit of slippage there. Didn't get it precisely the same number, but you saw it happen, recorded it, and then the other 2 base hits were pretty straightforward. So 3 base hits for me. Those are my trades, and you can see the kind of the averages to date based on all these levels that we're trading every single day. Hope you found this interesting and helpful. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Have a great day.